All right. Just having my phone charge right there, but let's go see how the crafts came out. How's everybody doing? Hope your week is going well. Let me just finish setting this up. I was on the phone, so I was using my phone and wasn't able to get it charged. So here I am. Hi. So just give me another moment and then we'll get to the good stuff. Nope, wrong light, wrong. Okay. Am I charging? Good morning, good afternoon, actually. Okay, my phone is charging. All right. Got to set something else up. Just give me another moment. The anticipation of how the crafts came out. I tell you, when I do resin, and I get so anxious because depending on the size of the project, you want to make sure you give it at the minimum 24 hours to cure. Because if you're not familiar with resin, this is just one of the brands, but most of them are two parts, the A and the B. And again, depending on the size of the project, when you're doing something as small as this, actually you probably don't even have to wait the 24 hours. But if you're doing, much larger projects, especially ones that are thicker, especially ones that are thicker, it's going to need more time to cure, for stuff that are thicker, larger, because if you demold it and mess with it before it's completely cured, you're going to deal with making them warp for whatever reason. The larger projects and stuff like that, you want to make sure that you give that ample time to completely cure. All right, because especially when I've shown this on yesterday's live stream. And by the way, thank you guys for those that did attend that live stream yesterday, where I had my special guest, Terry, from Terry's Trips, Tips, and Talks. You would have seen the first two products that I just showed and this one. Especially for the ones that do take a lot of resin and they're thicker, you're going to have to make sure you give those ample time to completely cure. But the items that we're waiting to demold or to reveal, it's similar to the heart shape, what I would call the trinket bowls. But I was going to do the heart and then these two that I'm getting ready to show. But if you're here, let me know that you're here, whether you're new to my channel or not. Let me know where you're watching from. Hi, Gage. Good morning, if I said that right. That's why sometimes I hesitate on saying a person's name or channel. What do you call that? Their handle. But I do crafting on top of doing gig work. That's why my channel name is Gig Life and More, and this just happens to fall under the more part. So these are the two items that I'm getting ready to reveal. They are still sitting in the mold. So this is the round one, and it's shiny because that's the resin that's inside of it, compared to what it looks like without any of the resin inside of it. But these are going to create trinket bowls, or for whatever you want to end up using these for. But I did a round blue one and a square green one. But if you guys are ready to do the reveal, hey Terry, you made it just in time. But if you guys are ready to see the reveal, start throwing up those likes, start throwing up those hearts, and let me know that you guys are ready. Let me turn on the light. Woo, that is very bright. All right, I'm seeing some hearts come up. Come on, for those of you guys that are watching, let me see those hearts, the likes. And thank you. I appreciate it for those of you guys that are here. That is really awesome. Okay. So again, I've got my round one. Which one do you guys want to see revealed first? The round one or the square one? Oh, well, thank you. You want to see the square one? Okay, Terry. Oh, Engage said the round one. Trust me, last night before going to bed, I came in here to check on them, and they were still a little bit, when I was squeezing it this way, they were a little bit on the soft side. So as of right now, it's been 23 hours since I did these. But they were definitely a lot softer last night. But I am going to start with the square one. But I get very, excited, and I can't wait. Here, let me just point it down so you guys can see what I'm doing. But I get so impatient is the word I guess I'm trying to say. So right now I'm just trying to get it from the edges. So these are silicone molds. So they are they're so durable, because if you're not familiar with resin, as resin is setting, they heat up. So that's the cool thing about silicone molds. They are designed to handle the heat, because they even have silicone baking stuff that you can use in the kitchen. So even though my square mold is completely turned inside out, just pop it right back, and it's ready for the next one. So here it is. Here is the square green one. I made this clear because I'm going to show you guys here in a minute. But this one, I do love the coloring on this one. And the downside, and I mentioned this yesterday during the live stream, but whenever you're working with the chunky glitter and resin, as it's setting, if you get any of the chunky glitter along the edges, unfortunately, it will, create some. My cat's trying to come back in, trying to get into the room. Hey, Corey, good afternoon. You're just in time to reveal the crafts that I was working on yesterday. Is there glitter? Yes. So I've got the small glitter in here, and then I've also got the chunky glitter. But my plan was, because, it sits like this when it's in the mold. But when I put the chunky glitter, as you can see, the way it's falling down the side, that's what I was wanting it to do. So that way, when it's sitting right side up, you're not seeing just the regular plain small glitter. You're also seeing the chunky glitter. But this right here, for sure, the way this side came out where more of the chunky glitter was coming towards the top, that's what I was trying to create. But wait, there's more. But what I was saying too is that, especially if you don't, which I did end up running out of some of the resin, so I wasn't able to completely fill it up all the way to the rim. So it created a little bit of a lip. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but there's a little bit of a lip here. So if I were to give this as a gift, or if I were to sell this, I would have to sand the edges down, because right now you can't see it, but it's got some edge to it. So I would definitely have to sand this down. But again, resin is a great medium to work with, because there are so many different ways, different things that you can create with this, and they're durable. They are not meant to be outdoor products, but some, most of them aren't, but some of them can be created to where it can handle the heat, even the Texas heat. But basically it becomes hard plastic. But as I was saying, wait, there's more. One of the reasons why I kept the base clear, I wanted this to be clear. I got to activate it, but do you create custom products? I have, when I was selling these, I have created them. I mean, sometimes I would buy the preset molds like this, but I have bought the material to create my own molds. But okay, so let me do that. Turn that off. And I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this or not. Oh, well, thank you. But unfortunately, right now, I only do them as gifts. But this was one of the reasons. Okay, hold on. I gotta close the curtain. I gotta try and make it a little dark in here, but right now that's not doing it justice. I don't know if you guys can see this or not. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. But this, there. Okay, let me do it this way. One of the things I did with this one and the round one is that I added glow-in-the-dark powder to it. Right now it's during the day, so you can't really see. Yeah, there's just too much light still. So you guys are just going to have to wait for the next stream where I will have it to the point where you're going to be able to see this and that awesome effect of glowing in the dark. Aw, Terry, who did that? Who did that? Oh, thank you. Oh my gosh. You just made my day. Thank you. Look, you're making my hand shake. Oh my gosh. Thank you. But this was one of the reasons why I made this a little bit see-through, is because I have these devices here that lights up different colors and it rotates. But like I said, if it was darker in here, if I did this in the evening, you'd be able to see the effect a lot more. But you can actually even see the reason why it looks that color at the rim. That's where most of the so you even got me tongue-tied. Oh my gosh. That is so awesome. Thank you so much. You are awesome. What was I saying? Yeah. The glow in the dark powder had settled because when I first mixed it, the glow in the dark powder, when you're sitting it like this, it's a little bit on the heavy side, so it floats to the top. Okay, so that's the square one. So you got the square one. Now let's do the round one. All right, so we got the round one. I always like to, now the thing about the round one, I don't know if it's because of the shape, but I already know that this would need a little bit more time for it to be completely cured, because even just doing this, did you guys see that? There's a little bit still, I can kind of squeeze it still. Compared to the square, I don't know if it's just because, oh, actually, no, the square did it too. So both of these are still going to need more time for it to be 100% cured. Because if I'm still able to, I mean, it feels hard, and it is taking me a little bit to squeeze it for it to give that soft effect, but so I would still have, before I give this to anybody, I would have to make this 100% cure for another day or so. And I can feel it, Terry. And this does happen when you're working with resin, because as you're mixing it, it develops bubbles. And if you don't get rid of all the bubbles, especially along the edges, you're going to get, and I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but as I run my finger along the edges where bubbles were, there's tiny nicks all along the edges. I mean, which is fine. That does happen, but I would just take a little bit of a sanding paper to the edges to get rid of that very small sharpness to it. But anyways, back to the round. No, it's not. No, it's not 100% cured, but it's enough for me to be able to still reveal it. I don't think I can wait another day to demold this stuff. I can still wait, not like they're going anywhere. Now, if it was too soft, because with what I'm having to do, if I was misshaping it because I'm having to do this, then yeah, I would wait another day. But it is hard enough for me to be able to do this part. See, silicone molds. Love them. It'll be fine. It'll set up in the next. Yes, that is right. And then it just pops right back up. See, then that way, if anything lingers behind before you use it for your next project, you can turn it inside out and clean it. And then it just snaps right back into shape. And then here is the blue one. So with this one, I did, because I did use powder to create the color here, and I did have to coax it. I don't know if you guys can see how there's blue. It's almost acting like a smoky effect as it's going to the top. But I did have to force it. I did have to force it because it didn't have enough weight to fall on its own. So I did have to force it. I used just one of my tools like this to help push the color pigment down that way. And it's see-through because this also has, let me see if I can activate it. But this also has the glow in the dark. So I'm trying to see if I can activate it. I mean, you can kind of see the reason why this is lit up the way it is because it does have glow in the dark pigment in this. So if I were to use this like in the bathroom, getting ready, And that whatever it is that I have put in here, you know, it'll be activated from the bathroom light. And then when I turn it off, you're going to see that it'll glow in the dark. See, that's why this, you see a little bit of a green tint to it. It's because of the glow in the dark. I used this one, this glow in the dark. Let's see it again. So this one has more of the glow in the dark than this one. So do you guys see the difference? They both have the same type. I use the same glow in the dark in both of these, but it definitely stands out more in this one. I think there was more in that one. I didn't use as much in this one because I didn't want it to change the color too much. Because the only two glow-in-the-dark pigments that I have pulled out at the moment was a yellow one and this one. And this definitely would have stood out on that one. Because see, if I had, like with this, if I had it, I don't know if I can control the lighting on these. There's no way to control it. Just rotates from the available colors. But see, if I were to do a dark base like this, it won't show through. See, this one you can see. Oh, sorry. Let's do it this way. There's the round one. Is that better? As you can see with the round one, it is rotating and with the different colors. As well as the square. Let me see from a straight on. Like I said, if I had more, if I could make the room darker, you could see the effects better in reference to the color changing. And the fact that it's glow in the dark. Don't mind the desk behind these beauties. But yeah. There you go. You got my 2 reveals. I was wanting to do the smaller version to this because I was still trying to find the mold to make the bigger one. But I was going to make a smaller one yesterday, but I ran out of some of my mix. So the next time. What is going on? What are you doing there, trimmers? If that's... Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. Oh my, I don't know what the conversion is for that. I don't know what the little symbol is. I don't think that's a $. But thank you. I appreciate that. Getting me tongue-tied again. Why isn't it responding? Okay, there we go. I think you need to translate the money. Those aren't American dollars. Yeah, I don't know what that is either. I don't know if YouTube is gonna do that themselves, but okay. Well, I still appreciate that. Every dollar counts. I still appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yeah, but I think YouTube is the one that's going to convert that. I need to find me more of my bases, the ones that rotate, which I know I do have them. They're just in boxes. Because see, I would even do, because this one is light enough. Let me see. Look at that one. Gorgeous. From the top. But this right here is it's also made of resin. It's my freeform bowl. I've been wanting to make another one of these. But these are really cool to have. So if you have, if you work with different crafts and it's something that can, fit on a base like this, it really is awesome to display your craft items. Especially, again, as long as the base is clear enough or see-through enough that the light, because I believe there's like 5 different colors that it rotates through. So, and then that way it can illuminate throughout the item that you put on one of these light up bases. Let's just keep that one on. But like I said, there's so many different molds. I was gonna work on my hibiscus one yesterday, but then I decided to just do the trinket bowls. So the next time I do a crafting project, I think I might still, work on my hibiscus or make a freeform bowl. because those are fun because you can use, you know, a regular bowl that you can help form it around. I've used bowls, I've used vases, depending on how you want the sides to come out. If I was rich, I would have sent more. Oh, well, even the $5, you know, it's greatly appreciated. Greatly. But again, when you're making the freeform bowls, because I've seen some where the sides, because they would use a tall vase, and the sides, you know, would come up really high. Because when you create it, it's faced like this. And then whatever bowl you decide to drape it over, you're going to end up putting it over like this. So if it's a short bowl, it's going to prevent the sides from, you know, coming down even further. But if it's something that's really tall, you know, because when you drape it over the bowl or vase, this is still soft enough that you can, you know, it's pliable, that you can shape it, and the edges will kind of start to still droop. But these are fun to make because they can be unique, because you can't always control how the edges are going to form, whether it's just going to stay there or continue to come down to create more teardrops of sort. Because that's kind of like what happened here. You know, it'll still spread. So they're fun to make for sure. So be on the lookout for those live streams or for those videos where I'll be making, you know, even bigger projects. But I appreciate y'all joining me for the reveal. I wish that I had done more, just so I can reveal even more in reference to working with resin. I think with Terry, who joined me, she was my special guest on my live stream yesterday because she does crafting as well. She was in the chat, but it's Terry's Trips, Tips, and Talk. Go check out her channel because she does so much more than I do. And see what she has to offer. I mean, she works with resin just as I have, but you know, there's, like I said, there's just so many ways that you can craft with this type of medium. But the next time I do planning on going live will probably when I get out there and do some gig work. Yes, it is. It really is. When it comes to Corey, you were just, I mean, you pretty much saw the reveal already. Corey, all I was doing was showing what it looked like on my little light up spinner. So I got the square one, and then I got the round one. I probably could have turned off the light in the room too. I saw in the glow in the dark part, but went to Mary's live for a minute. So yeah, and I was just showing that the next time I work with resin, I'm probably going to do more of my freeform bowls. So I was talking about that. Because most of my freeform bowls, I make beach themes just like this one. So for the most part, of course, if the room was darker, you'd see how the color is actually changing on the bowl. No glow in the dark in this one. That one was all regular. I use anything from alcohol ink to powders to I also use acrylic paint You saw the 449? Yes. And because where they sent it from, it was not US dollars, but he sent more. So I appreciate that. Thank you. He sent 449. I don't know what the symbol represents. I don't know what denomination that is, but it was equivalent to $5. So that was still pretty cool. But yeah, I use any of those things, from powders and whatnot to help give me the different colors, you know, from white all the way. I mean, yes, I do have, pigments to change it to black. Yeah, I know that's what I was saying at first, because especially when I saw the 449, I was like, what? But that was a different denomination, but that's okay. It's still pretty awesome that you did that. So, but yeah, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me to do my review. Be on the lookout for future videos just like this, and so much more. Again, that's why my channel is called Gig Life and More, because it's not just about gig work. And if you're wondering what gig work is, it's delivery apps, because I do. Hey, Rachel, you just missed the reveal, so you got to make sure you watch the beginning. I did crafting yesterday and I did the reveal. But from doing gig work like Uber Eats, DoorDash, Walmart Spark, Instacart, and I know some of these apps are not available worldwide, just like Corey is in Canada. Wait, Corey, you're doing what app is not available to you in your area? I forgot. Was it Uber Eats? But anyway, with the delivery apps, you're picking up restaurant food or even shopping for the customer and then delivering it to them. But check that out, Rachel. Here, let me do this one more time, and I'm going to turn off this light. There. It's a little darker. It's a little darker in here. There. So that's the round one. So you don't have Grubhub, it's called Skip the Dishes. And then that's the other thing. Sometimes the app, it might be known as something else in your area. So some of these apps are not worldwide. But it's just called, Grubhub is just called Skip the Dishes there. Very interesting. I prefer that they call it Grubhub instead of Skip the Dishes. I mean, that's kind of a cool tagline to say Skip the Dishes, but but yeah, I even do cooking on my channel. So I do so much, but really for a good portion, and that's why it's at the start of my name with gig work or gig life, because we're on the road a lot. But I wanted to throw that and more because there's so much more to my channel than gig work. What'd you just say? They're both owned by Just Eat Delivery. Just Eat Delivery. Interesting. Oh, let's do another quick reveal. So this was the leftover blue that I had used to create that drop effect along the edges. For whatever you get left over, and this is another silicone pouring cup that I use, and it does not stick. So now I have this little bit of a chip if I wanted to. Haha. I wonder if it'll fit. What do we call these again? The caboose? These round pieces? No, I think this is going to be too big. Yeah. The eye fell out. Yeah, it's too big to fit in there. But sometimes if it was just a little bit smaller, maybe if I can, if there was a little bit less, it would have fit in there. But yeah, I make jewelry too. But yeah, see, it just creates a little, I keep dropping it. But that's what resin turns into. It's hard. It's like a hard plastic. Cabochon. That's what I was trying to remember. I said, what is it again? I used to know when I was heavily doing my jewelry stuff, I used to know a lot of the terms, from the, what you call these and what you call these that goes on top of it. And even these things here that I would stick, like if I wanted to turn this into, a keychain, or I can even turn it into like an earring, I would attach this piece to it, because it's got the little hole right there. And I would attach this to the back like that. And then I can string it. See? So I even forgot what these little suckers were called. Terry, do you remember what these were called? The flat packs or something like that? I'm not sure. But I've got the small version and I've got the bigger versions of these pieces, depending on what I was creating. But yeah, I used to know the terms for all of that stuff. And then as I got out of it, I'm just like, what was that called again? Because the previous live stream I did, I made my mermaid tails. Using the different color pigments. I was using the powder to create these colors. And then this one was the glitter, the chunky glitter that I used. I'm at work. Got to go make that money, Rachel. Stay safe out there. And thanks for popping in. Peace. Yes, to turn it into a necklace. But this was just going to be a short live stream. I just wanted to show the reveal. If you're just now popping in, I hope that you'll watch this as a replay so you guys can see what I did with these two pieces. Until then, whatever you guys are doing out there, please stay safe. Make that money if you're working. And I'll catch you guys on the next video or live stream. Until then, adios for now. Thanks for popping in, everybody. Thank you, Terry. Bye, y'all.